G'day and welcome to the start of a new campaign in Hearts of Iron 4. This is going to be an interesting one. I was actually just reading this while I was having something to eat, and there's a bit here. While the Empire of Japan stands poised to attack China in Asia. So we're going to do something completely different to that. Well, to the start with. We're going to see how far we can get before 14th of August 1939, starting from the usual one. So we're going to play as Japan in this one. We'll turn Iron Man mode on, I guess. There's no things to get, but Iron Man Japan number 2. Second time I've played as Japan, really. I've been practicing what I'm going to do here a bit today, and it's incredible fun. So, let's grab the entire fleet. It's going to be a lot of setup before we even unpause, so if you want to fast forward, it's probably a good time to do it. So, that will go down to Gaichong. We are going to select the entire Air Force and disband them, so we can set them up again and do it a bit easier than redirecting them and all the rest of it. So they're gone, they're all heading in. The army is spread out and there's two separate parts to the army. Half of it we don't really want to move from where they are. The other half we do want to start planning things. But picking them out of the lineup's a bit of a hassle, so we're just going to chuck them all in. Make sure that everybody is selected, which they are. Now, in the list, we want to grab the Bubing Shi, and we're going to pull them off to another army. These guys are going to be under the command of a field marshal, which I'm pretty sure we only have two. Yep. Alright, let's go for Hisaichi Tarauchi. And this army, we are going to split further in a second. We're going to put them under Tomoyuki Yamashita, and then we're going to grab the tanks, which aren't actually tank divisions. If you have a look at the template, they do it the typical way, not the German Blitzkrieg way. But yeah, we'll grab them. We'll grab the Kono Shidan. That's two of them. And let's take it as 5. And then we'll just grab some regular HoI Shidan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, they are going to come over and be part of... should be a commando. There we go. Hitoshi Imamura's. And the basic idea behind these is we're going to put them on these islands down here where there's a lot of ports that you can do naval invasions from. So let's split this up a bit. So first of them, and first of them. We'll do a naval invasion from here to the North Island of Hawaii. And then this one, and this one, we'll do the naval invasion from here to just in the south. And should actually set these up. There and there. Looks like they didn't want to attach that one. Alright, let's grab... It's not going to let me grab them. There is a weird thing about being able to select people from these invasions sometimes. Alright, they will go there. That even turned the right one off. Okay, so that's most of them. And then we want the third guy, this guy, and this guy. They're going to do a naval invasion from just behind, so these three should arrive roughly at the same time. They're going to do the naval invasion directly on Honolulu. And then we've got Yodo HoI Shidan, who are going to do a naval invasion from this northern island here. And they're going to try and land on... I forget the name of this one. Yes, do your thing. Alright, to Johnston Atoll. Okay, so the reason we need to do this kind of over the top is because sometimes there's nobody at all in Hawaii defending it. Sometimes there's like 5 divisions there, so you need to make sure that you get the encirclement on them and just push as hard as you can. Now, other than that, we will want to do an invasion of the Philippines before America capitulate. Now, the other things that we're going to research, we need to do everything that's going to help with actually making the army stronger. So these two, and then you jump into the mechanical engineering and the basic machine tools. So that's our 4 to start with. Civilian factories, we are just going to be building military factories. We'll do it on core territory first. We have 2 Reichs protectorates, I think they're Reichs commissariats. So you've got Menkukuo and Manchukuo. We're going to integrate them before too long, but we do want to build up our own production before we start reducing their autonomy, or whatever you call it. So, give us all the stuff there. North Korea is one of ours. The rest of that's Manchukuo. Manchukuo is only these 2, so there's not a great deal you can actually do there. Let's line these up now. Let's line all these up now. Integrate them after the other one's built. Now, the free military factories, this is the tricky bit. We want most of these. Let's go for about 4 of them. Then we'll line this up. We're not going to bother with the planes at all for now. And the fleet is a bit of a mess. For some reason, they're partway through submarine 1s, and they're building submarine 2s as well. What we want to do is just ignore everything but submarine 2, because they should, well, let's just put that at the top. They're going to be pretty much the fastest for us to build, and it's going to be necessary for us to reach the American coastline. And otherwise, we're going to put everything into the 3rd Kantai, Sun Kantai, because when we merge the fleets, that's the one that comes out on top. So we'll just make sure that everyone's going to auto-join that already. Alright, so they're fine. Let's cut down on that. The destroyers. These might be finished. There is apparently an oil shortage, but you do start off with 16 being brought in from America. Now, the national focus, we're going to go straight through to strike the USA. This is just going to be a blitzkrieg through the ocean onto America to start with. And then we're going to see if we can take out China before, when was it? 1939. Should be pretty easy. We'll see what we can do with the Soviets as well, maybe. But the Soviet war is always long because you just have to dredge through them. All right, now we're going to train HoI Shidan. If you take a look at there, I didn't want to duplicate. What am I doing? If you take a look at their thing, it's nice and big, and it's already got some support divisions in there. So HoI Shidan are really good to have as a starting template. And we're going to make 30 of them at a time. They're going to pop out right on the port south of Tokyo. So not just in Kanto, but we're going to pop them out there. We want them to auto-join this one, but we can't turn that on yet, so that's fine. We're also going to try and make some Dokuritsu Konsai Reidan. And I think we can only make 5 of them. And same thing, they're going to pop out on top of the port in Kanto. Now, outdated equipment is the 2 submarines, that doesn't matter. We've got planes in reserve, missing light tank production, and insufficient resources isn't true. But we do want some production sorted out. So we're going to go infantry equipment, support equipment, towed artillery. Then we're going to make light tanks. Let's turn them off for now. Alright, light tanks, and then Japan have this massive infantry equipment shortage that they always have to deal with. Support equipment we're going to want to add on after as well. So let's do this as a bit of a spread. And if the situation ever arrives that we have excess ports, we're going to need convoys, because you always have to transport, even if it's for the land war right next to you. You always have to use the transports. Okay, we actually start off with 1 political power. So that's our setup to start with. We're also going to grab... Actually, we don't need to grab them yet. We're going to set it from this army. We're going to do a naval invasion from Taiwan down to this province here. Once they reach it, they will go for Dagupan. And we'll turn that on, but obviously they're not going to do it yet. Now, this army, we want to bring over here, so they're ready to do the next bit. Actually, which way is quicker? Yeah, our fleet's going to be down here protecting. So let's go bring the fallback line to this port. Hopefully that'll join it properly. Yep, they're all moving. Okay, so we're at speed 5 for a little bit. Everything's set. Well, that'll take about 10 minutes just to set up the start of the game. Alright, but United States, hopefully we can force their capitulation before the end of the year. I've done it in January of 37. I think we might be able to squeeze out a bit of extra speed if we have everything set up just right. Speaking of which, I don't have everything set up yet. These guys need to have a naval invasion planned from here to just north of San Francisco. And once they make that, they need to do this, and then set it up for California, Oregon, Washington, actually, since we don't have that many units in this one. Let's just set them up for that. And they're all good to go as soon as they're allowed. So yeah, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 sea zones that we have to get through from Hawaii to California, which means we're going to have 2 fleets, but you have to anyway because the normal ships that we have can't actually reach that far, so we have to split off the best and just stick them on the coast, and the others do these 3 here. But also, I guess we need to set these guys up. So, group them. Did anything finish being built yet? What am I looking for? This one? No. So they're all in. The commander shall be Menaichi Koga because... No, it's not that one. It's the blockade runner, Yusaburo Ozawa, because we want them to be able to retreat quickly if they need to. Otherwise, we're going to be doing convoy escorts between the Eastern Micronesian Gap and Hawaii Ridge. We can reach this, which means they're allowed to do the thing. And once we take Hawaii, they'll reach just a slight bit of the Northeast Pacific and North Central Pacific. So that's all good. So with them on their way out, actually what I forgot to do was sort out the boats before they leave the port. So we have 58, a 58, and a 45. Don't know why the Ryoju doesn't hold as much. I haven't actually looked that up. Alright, so Akagi is going to take carrier fighters. Let's go move 20, 20, 30, 40, 50, 8 into there. The Kaga will take the carrier Kaz. 58 in there, and the Ryujo will take the naval bombers. Now, typically, the reserve planes that you have last well and truly through the rest of the wars. They've actually got quite a few planes, the Japanese. They just don't use them properly. They have some of them set up for doing things from a regular airbase instead of being in carriers. Now, there should be an airbase down here as well that holds 400 planes. So we're going to ignore the carrier fighters, carrier Kaz, carrier naval bombers. We're going to grab our interwar fighters, and we'll crank this up for later when we finish actually producing them. We'll grab all of the Kaz, and we'll grab all of the interwar bombers. Alright, so a few too many. Get them into Eastern Micronesia once they arrive. Missing equipment production, yep. Alright, so they're all in, and we'll just grab these guys, pull them out to here. They can do the Mariana region. Actually, we'll pull them down here. They can do the Bismarck. No, they can still reach Eastern Micronesia. Okay, so they go down, they turn around. Should actually turn their stuff on. For some reason, you can't do that with the carrier planes until they start their first fight. Then you can turn these on, which makes it a little annoying. Alright, now, insufficient resources is true this time. We're going to get things from the US, I guess. And it's just steel for now. I was hoping to get it from somebody a bit closer. Get it from the Guangxi clique, I guess. And we'll do that after the Americans go to war with us. So, Rhineland is remilitarized. We've reinforced the Soviet border. We're going to go for southern expansion. Now, there's 2 different events that can pop up here. It's a Japanese victory. So, that's good because we get 15 army experience. If you lose the border skirmish, you only get 5, and you get something else there. I can't remember what it was. But that research bonus for the Grand Battle Plan will be handy as well. Alright, now, the rest of these guys, we actually want to pull them down to a port, so they're going to be ready to come out where we want them to be. These guys will come over to the port as well. We can't grab everybody because we want the other guys sitting defending the islands from American invasions, particularly these ones down here. Alright, low supplies. Where are the low supplies? Out here. 28 of 20 because we brought the other guys out. Alright, don't particularly want to bump that up, so we'll just ignore it. Should be high enough. Alright, how are we looking? Did I forget? No, I did the thing. So these guys need to come out last. These guys need to be in front of that because we want the tanks thrown in as well. And now that this is actually on a thing, we can add them on. Alright, let's pull this guy down. He's going to be the one to do that invasion. Alright, so first the research done. Go for more research. And 21 to 24, 10 to 24, these 40 are all weak until we get the other guys to jump in there. But we're going to need just plain numbers to march across America. From California to New York. And for naval invasion battle plans, we only need 39, 40 convoys. It's not too bad. 4 each. Alright, the other thing is, if we go to Dokuritsu Konzai Raidan and... no, not that one. The HoI Shidan. We're going to add support artillery right from the start if we can. Need a lot more available. We're not really producing them yet, but we'll put in what we have and make them a little stronger. Alright, 689. Alright, southern expansion is on the way. So, 70 days, we'll strike the USA. We don't care about the war goals against Singapore and whoever. We're going to do a little trick. That's the other funny thing about this campaign. I'll show you something in Europe later on if we end up going through the Soviet Union and doing that war. It's quite hilarious how you can... yeah, we'll get to that later. Alright, basic machine tools, interwar artillery, and the other guns. So we want to break out the production. It's a bit too early to do this one, but we need the construction speed. And can we do anything good here? No. No. And support companies we can. Do want to do SIGs, but maintenance would be good as well. Well, let's just do radio then. I mean, that's always a good thing to have. Alright, now, first government modification has to be the infantryman. Because he's an expert, so we get 10% attack, 15% defense. Absolutely crucial, and I'm probably going to forget the next one, but we want to do the silent workhorse to get the extra 15%. After we've done Strike the USA, we're going to try and rush down to improved national spirit for the political power gain. National unity doesn't really matter, but we want to get there, so we're going to have to go through the Chinese puppet thing. Don't know what the benefit of doing one or the other of them is, but we go for puppet just in case they say yes. Sometimes they give up on the thing and hand you over the land for the Chinese border incident. Otherwise, we're going to go through found our faction to get the 150 political power. By the time we do that, we should be able to use that to integrate Manchukuo. Manchukuo, yeah. What's the other one? Manchukuo. Alright. It's the bigger one that you integrate first because you can get more building done on them. Particularly after you've done the American war and you get all their civilian factories because they start with just 140 odd. It's fantastic once you get them. Compared to our 23. That's why you have to do the American war as quickly as you can. Alright, let's come along. What's our shortage look like? 719 days. 208 days. Motorized is the other one I always forget. Alright, we need motorized production before we need these other ones. Probably even before that, infantry equipment, because we need to do a bunch of stuff with motorized. Alright, light tanks we're not producing. True. That would also be a good idea after infantry are sorted out. Alright, probably after the first infantry equipment. Something like that. Infantry equipment, support equipment, light tank. Yep, that'll work. So yeah, we'll probably end up losing our tanks because we've only got 3 divisions of them. Hopefully they don't get sunk by the ships. It is quite random at the start here where the American fleet happens to be when you leave port. Alright, 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th. Slow it down a bit. When do we do this? Tomorrow. Alright, Strike the USA is ready. Next one. Now, there's a few things we do want to do. We want to go down to extra research slot. This will give us recruitable pop, so we don't need it straight away. Land doctrine research time, not so much. So we do want to get there. We also want to get the naval dockyards. And you go through these stuff to get a lot of good naval research. Naval primacy, what was the one? Yeah, this one here for the fighters and stuff. Army primacy just gives you military factories straight out. And you do have to do this to get down to improve national spirit. So I'm thinking army primacy will be the next one. Okay, well, let's go over to Hawaii and declare this war. So it's the 29th of July, 1936. We're not going to call our allies in, but let's declare the war. They have 25 to 50, so I think they have low 30s, like 33 divisions or something. So we have about double, a lot of ours a week, but then so are a lot of theirs. He's got triple the factories, but we'll see what we can do. Well, we can take a short break here, so thanks for watching, hope you're enjoying it, and hope to see you again soon for the Japanese invasion of America in 1936. Alright, see you later.